Hi, boys and girls, Mrs. Johnston here, and we are going to once again be working with a saying and a phrase. And our saying and phrase is the early bird gets the worm. This is called a proverb. Proverbs are short, traditional sayings that have been passed along orally from generation to generation. These sayings usually express general truths based on experiences and observations of everyday life. Although some proverbs do have literal meanings, that is, they mean exactly what they say, many proverbs have a richer meaning beyond the literal level. In the read aloud, you heard the saying, the early bird gets the worm. Repeat that saying with me. The early bird gets the worm. Worms are something birds like to eat. A bird would be happy if it found a worm and it could eat it. Let's say that phrase one more time. The early bird gets the worm. So, can you tell me why the early bird would get the worm? Did you say it gets there first to eat the worm before the other birds do? What would happen to a bird that came after the early bird? Did you say that the worm would be gone? There might not be any more worms for anyone else? Would it get the worm? No, it would not get the worm. This saying can also be true for people. People probably aren't interested in getting a worm when they're early, but there are other rewards that they can get. Some examples of things that people could get early, such as getting up early, gives students time to do the things they need to do before school, like combing your hair, eating a good breakfast, brushing your teeth. Arriving early for the movies allows you enough time to get a ticket, a snack, and a preferred seat before the movie starts. Have you ever went to your favorite bakery shop and had a donut in mind that you wanted and it was gone by the time you got there? The early bird gets the worm. That other person who got there before you, they were able to get the donut that you wanted instead. So let's see if we can work with a little bit of the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. I am going to give you an example. If this is an example of the early bird gets the worm and it's yes, I want you to give me a thumbs up. If it is not an example of the early bird gets the worm, you're going to give me thumbs down. An example of the saying, the early bird gets the worm, might be cleaning up your desk quickly so that you can be the first in line for recess. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? Is that an example of the early bird gets the worm? That is correct. That person was rewarded by cleaning up their desk quickly to be able to be first in line. An example of the saying, the early bird gets the worm, might be watching television with a big bowl of buttered popcorn. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That is thumbs down. There was nobody there. You got what you wanted. Another example of the saying might be waking up early so that you can get to the donut shop before they run out of their popular cream filled donuts. Is that an example of the early bird gets the worm? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up. That was part of one of the examples we had in the very beginning, too, is that sometimes bakeries open early so that people can come in and get those special items that they want. But you have to be early because if you're later, they might be gone. So, our saying today was the early bird gets the worm. Things can happen, and if you do them quickly, then you might be first in line. You might get the donut you want, have extra time to pick out a special seat or prize before something starts, like a movie.